How we doing, ladies and gents? Welcome to Bulletproof Mindset, where we bulletproof your mind through health, fitness and entertainment. So I went out the weekend and got absolutely smashed for the first time in a while, and I felt the effects. I know the effects of alcohol when it comes to making gains, but we thought we'd share some of them with you so you can make a more educated view on the next time you go to drink and get absolute out your tits. Right, so listen up and let's go.
Right, so you've got two different podcast hosts today. You've got one nice, motivated, fresh young man, and you've got a wee chicken tender. Chicken tenderloin there.
Aye.
Wee rough boy.
Oh, rough boy.
So how James had said before, like, he doesn't eat drinking a night out. He's like, yeah, like, let's just go to show. He is also human.
I'm also human, and I got fucked. I don't even think it was that. I think it was the fact that we stayed up till like 3-4 in the morning as well.
Think
you
so?
Know? Aye, that's like...
You're not a late person at the weekend?
No. I go to bed at 10 every night.
Even Saturday and Sundays, there?
Maybe at 11 or 12. At a push. Do you know what I mean? I don't really like staying up any later than that. Do you stay up later than that? Do you stay up later than that?
Recently, no. That's probably why I feel pretty good. Remember we were saying last time about sleep, like... You tend to have the same sleep schedule Monday to Friday, and at the weekend you end up fucking it, and that's why you feel the fear kicking in come Monday, or that's why it hurts come Monday. So the last couple of weeks been pretty consistent with my sleep window. So it's about 9-10 o'clock I'll start to wind down.
I think that's the best way. Like I do think that's the best way. I don't really see like any other point staying up past a time where I feel tired.
Well, this is the thing. The thing that I battle with the most is I can edit a podcast and I can be more creative, and I can go down the YouTube rabbit hole of thinking about how to do wacky edits. And
I'm no creative at late at night.
Oh no, I
know you.
I don't know if that comes to like gaming and stuff, like, because if you look at my life from 18 till now, there's definitely been more times that I've been gaming to like 3, 4, 5, 6 in the morning. I remember gaming one day. Jillian, I don't know why she does this, but
you love me, Jillian?
Aye.
So you're an adult?
I'm an adult.
Fucking hell.
This was one thing that she said to me at one point. She was like, we were driving from Nottingham to back home for one trip, and you just get talking about stuff, and then she's like, so you're gonna, like, when you're older, you're not gonna game or that? And I was like, I am. I fucking love it. And she was like, what? And I was like, well, when you're older, you're not going to put makeup on again. That was my comeback. But I do. I love gaming. That day, it's a stress relief for me. But there's a fine line of it being also an addiction and taking up too much of my time.
100%.
But the gaming side of things, like, I would, like, Jillian would go to bed, and I was like, right, I'm going to stay up because the boys are online and stuff like that, good banter and stuff. And that's really what it was about. I was good at games as well.
Having fun with your pal.
Aye. So I'm up gaming. Jillian would come in at like 3 in the morning. She's like, do you know what time it is? And I'm like, I know how to fucking tell the time. She'd go back to bed. And I'm like, what's she all about? And then I remember
what age were you at this point?
It was only like 2 years ago.
Oh my
God! Like 2 years ago. See, lockdown, we fucked it. See, because I'll be honest, I can say it now because I don't fucking care like who listens to this, and if it's some of my old colleagues or old peers, like, we were working from home. We were also playing COD film. Like, nobody can tell me any different. But.
So we were furloughed, but we would get up and start playing about 9 or 10 and stop playing about 11 or 12 at night.
We would do the same, but we'd go right through.
See, we wouldn't go right through because we would hit a point where, see, if you play Warzone that much. You play Warzone? Right, see, when you played Warzone that much, you just kept getting bet.
You're like, one more game, we've got this.
You didn't. You'd land and get killed, and you're like... maybe it's time to gaff. Do you know what I mean?
The worst was, so Jillian would have attitude with me because we would be, say we had plans on the Saturday, so Friday night I'd jump on Xbox and all the boys are on, and then my mate Ross, he'd I don't know, sometimes we'd just get a spot, we'd go play Halo or something like that, and we go, right, let's just keep playing, like, fucking having a laugh.
I love it.
Playing this game, just like chatting shit online, and then you kind of clock in because you don't, like, my gaming setup, I had like fucking 3 screens, blackout blinds, and I see a wee bit of sunlight and I'm like, what time's it? And I go, oh my God, it's 6:30 in the morning, and I'd sneak into bed, go to sleep, and Jillian, I could tell she had attitude.
No wonder, mate, no wonder. See, there is times when I go, overreaction, but I can see why she's fucking raging.
So, like, say we had plans to do something, I would have to be getting up in like 3 hours, and I'd set my alarm and I got up. I remember one time that I got up and she was like, I thought this day was going to be wasted for you. And I was like, no, I said I would do something. She's like, are you tired? And I was like, no, and I'm like struggling to keep my eyes closed. But we've done crazy things, like we raised I think we raised something like £2,000 for charity one time, see, down in Nottingham. We ran a Fortnite event. I'd never played Fortnite before, but what we managed to do is we all brought our Xboxes and PlayStations into the office, and we gamed for 24 hours straight and put it on Twitch. And that was brilliant. There was like 8 years in the room.
That's pretty good.
My eyes after that was solid, man, because that was for like 7... I was like 7. No, it was 9 in the morning when I started, right through to 9.
See, I always found gaming made me so demotivated and everything else.
Oh, did it?
Because I was just so into it. You know what I mean? When you're so into it for ages, you come off, you're like, shh.
Don't speak to me.
Shut the fuck up.
Gaming rage.
It's game over. Gaming rage is real.
Can't hear it. So Sam came round to mine at the weekend there, and Nicola was saying that he smashed his phone. I was like, how did he do that? It was like FIFA.
What, just there?
Aye, he's so a grown man. You still get it. He used to call it the Halo rage. That's when.
Aye, we just got just rage, mate. You just used to get that rage. I'm all coming like, what is going on? You're like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
You start shouting abuse that you would never say to somebody, and you're like, was that me? I had to check myself, because also I started streaming, and I would catch myself, and I'm like, I was a wee bit shaky. Get banned for some of that stuff.
I was going to say, if you said some of the stuff, but you know what we were watching? We were watching Ace Ventura yesterday.
Right.
Have you? Right. So, have you seen it?
I feel I have.
Right, so we're talking about rage and things you can't say these days. This is a film, right? It's got a bit in it that you definitely cannot do, right? So one of the main villains is a transsexual,
right?
But it's not portrayed as that at first, right? Because so Ace Ventura, he's trying to obviously find this out. He's the detective, right? And he's kissed this woman. And then if he's like, who is this person? Who is this man? They're trying to find who this man is. And he's an ex-American football player,
right?
And he finds out that it's the woman that he's kissed,
right?
And he starts washing his tongue. He's burning his clays. He's in the shower like, no! Right?
That's a film that's no aged well,
right,
is
right.
it?
And then he's eating all this chewing gum. He's like, oh no! And I'm watching this. I was like, he can't actually make. If he that was 19. I looked up. It was 1994 or 1996. So because he's kissed this man, he's burning his clays, everything. And then something else happens when. Oh no! So. You not seen it at all?
No, I don't
so
think
I'm
so.
going to ruin it for you. So at the end, they've got this guy trapped, and so they're trying to figure out. So he's pulled this woman's bra down, and she's got tits, and he's like, well, maybe it's this. And then she's got pants on, and he goes to the other guy, and obviously whispers something in his ear. Basically, he's fucking shoved his balls in his dick through the hangway, right. And it's behind him, right. And he goes, well. She's either got hemorrhoids or it's a guy, and all the police officers are like, they all start passing out. No, it's like
this is
sheer homophobic.
I think many films prior to 2000 probably didn't age well at all.
Oh, they did not.
But something that's kind of held their integrity is like South Park and Family Guy. They've just been going after it, which is
still
pretty crazy. But aye, so it was a good weekend.
It was a good weekend.
And was it worth it?
I don't know.
Feeling tender.
I'm still feeling tender on Monday. It's no good. I'll feel alright tomorrow because I'm back up and we're doing things. But mate,
it's always. But
last night, right? So I said I have I sleep talking that I was having a nightmare. Can't even remember what it was, but I was having a severe nightmare. I woke up, opened my curtains, opened the window, right, and I went to as if I was going to jump out.
What?
I don't know. I was running away with something.
What the fuck? That's what you need to check out,
right,
man. So
I opened the window full, but obviously my window with the taps on the wee window. Dropped up it, one of the wee windows. Right, so I can't open the full window. It's just a wee bit.
It's like your job.
And I opened the full window, right.
It's a good job you're on a first flare as well.
Obviously the coldness hit me,
and
I woke up. I was like, what the fuck am I doing?
that's
so.
You get that looked out. Anyone that's got expertise in this, maybe reach out to James.
No, so it's just when my sleep cycles are fucked. Obviously, something happens. So stress and that causes it. So I've not had it in a while.
You should listen to your Human Lab. He done an episode on. They had a sleep Dr. Russo, actually, that's his name.
I've probably listened to it a while ago. Is it a new one?
No, it's no Dr. Human, it's Dr. Russo. So he's he's pretty well versed. His whole career is dedicated towards sleep, but more importantly, sleepwalking. He done an amazing podcast on sleepwalking, but I can't remember half the fucking shit that he was
basically
citing.
What he'll tell me is just don't drink as much.
No, but I remember. I remember, but I don't remember. But I remember him talking about sleep, why people sleepwalk, and that it's not necessarily genetic or something like that. It's something that causes brainwaves, and for you, it's your REM cycle is like your brain is meant to shut down, but your brain's awake, but your body's sleeping, and there's a signal between there.
Yeah.
So that's wild though. Like, so good job you are on the ground floor.
I know.
Where's James
so I think there is something in the body that stops people doing things like that. So you like there's something like, if you're on holiday and you go to jump over the balcony, you always wake up for some weird reason because your body knows no to go that step further.
Do you ever get so maybe this is where the fear of heights, but see when I'm at a balcony and I'll like see when I'm on my honeymoon, I don't know if you remember the pictures, like quite high up,
like I would the glass balcony.
So you can like look over, you could easily jump over, but I would play a scenario in my head and I'd start getting like my heart starts racing. I'm like, fucking hell, like, and I'd play the scenario, imagine I threw myself over this, and then I'd start getting dead shaky, and I'm like, what the fuck, why am I thinking about this? Do you ever do that? It gave me the absolute fear. I'm like, what?
I'm going to stay away. I'm quite scared of heights as it is anyway, so like, but I can stand at a balcony, but I wouldn't like to stay standing at a balcony like drinking near the balcony. I'd be alright, back in there. You know what I mean? Like, let's get back in there.
Nice for a wee picture.
Lovely. What a pic that is.
So the effects of alcohol, then that's what we're going to get into today's topic, because look, particularly in Scotland, our age group, our friends, our family, maybe not necessarily family. Well, I can probably speak for my parents. I think that generation, mostly people that's in that generation, kind of between 45 and 60, maybe even more. There's the culture is to have a glass of wine, have a beer throughout the week, and kind of get on it, and Fridays and Saturdays and stuff like that. That's like a more regular occurrence. But I don't know if that is a generation thing or it's just Scotland. It's our culture, because it's definitely.
I think it's most countries' cultures.
Do you think? I don't think it is most countries' cultures. Only because like when we met our friends that came over from New Jersey, like, don't get me wrong, they liked to drink and that, but it wasn't as if they're not like partying all the time and going out every weekend. It's like very activity based and all that sort of stuff. So it's an interesting one, but there is a downside of, well, not obvious. It is obvious, like most people will know the downside of the effects of alcohol, but more importantly, how it affects your sleep and how it affects your health and fitness gains. So we wanted to get in that today. Yeah,
we're going to go more into how it affects your gains.
And James is the guinea pig. He actually took one for the team. He purposely fucked it to talk about this subject today.
So obviously there is a difference between fucking it and just
having a few
in moderation, and having drink in moderation is okay, but understand that it's probably going to still put your progress back that wee tiny bit, especially when it comes to how it affects your sleep. So I think we'll go into how it affects your sleep first.
How many shots did you have?
I don't think it was that many.
Was it not?
Like three or four maybe. I mean,
you're not lightweight, man. Come on.
Mate, it wasn't the shots, it was the doubles. Because Caitlin was buying herself single and she was buying me a double every time.
Oh, she was trying to loosen you up. Try to get into the pantyhose.
Loosen me right up to the fact that it's bedtime.
Put you to sleep.
So, what alcohol does, and most people know this, is it's a depressant. So, with the fact that it's a depressant, it depresses your central nervous system. So basically, I mind reading this ages and ages ago, and it's basically like alcohol does two things. It brings you up and it brings you down, and because it brings you down, then it's going to affect your sleep, because throughout the day you release melatonin and cortisol at certain times, so that when it comes to bedtime, you're ready to go to sleep, you're ready to relax.
Yeah, so it's like your body it's regulated. It's got its own regulation.
Yeah, your circadian rhythm is, I'm ready to go to sleep. That means I'm going to sleep for a certain amount of time and then I'm going to wake up. This throws that way off. It throws your circadian rhythm way off. It's already relaxed you as soon as you've started drinking. So when you go to sleep, you might be relaxed because of the drink.
Yeah, you might be able to. So this is the thing that people get wrong, because they'll look at their watch and they'll go, I was sleeping for 10 hours.
Yeah.
That's no 10 hours of quality sleep.
No.
I know you're just about to get into REM sleep there.
Yeah. So obviously then, because you've been relaxed for so long before you go to sleep, then when you actually go to sleep, your cortisol levels spike during your sleep, and even if you stay in a sleep state, you're not going through the sleep cycles. So you're not getting into REM sleep, which is rapid eye movement sleep, which we spoke about many times before. In rapid eye movement sleep, this is when your hormones are replaced. This is when
building the
muscle.
the micro tears and
exactly
damage that you've done to your body through lifting weights, or even just any form of
this is when the neuroplasticity and the neurochemistry in your brain is getting repaired. This is when all that stuff is getting done. And what you'll find is the reason you dream so much when you drink, because everybody seems to dream more. I sleepwalk sometimes, way more. You'll probably dream a lot more when you drink. Do you ever feel like it's quite vivid?
No, it's just reminding me, like, I can't even remember what the dream is now. It's mad how that just fucking goes out your mind. But I've not dreamt in a long time. And the other night there, that I had a dream. In fact, I remember what it was. I was in the PT studio, and Laura had walked in with a client, Diane, and I was like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And then people just started coming into my gym, and I was like, "This isn't a gym. Get out of my gym!" Like, and I woke up, and it was so real. I was like, I've not had a dream like that in fucking ages, but that wasn't alcohol. That was just, I don't know, for what I had cheese after 10 o'clock. I don't know if that's a myth.
No. Cheese can make you do that.
Is it?
100%.
Because sometimes 100%. I'm like, I quite like that dream. Like, I'm going to have cheese.
I've had some really vivid dreams. I went, what the fuck did I do yesterday, Matt? No, cheese. No, Matt. No, that was so fucking vivid.
So avoid alcohol real. And cheese.
No, you can enjoy your cheese, but you just understand you're going to be dreaming like a motherfucker. But basically what happens when you're in the REM sleep is when everything's basically turned on, and that is when you dream. That is when you see everything. So, but the thing is, when your cortisol levels are ready to come back up, that's when you're ready to wake. So if you get a cortisol spike as you're in REM sleep, what happens? You wake up. The only ever time you remember a dream is when you wake up from it. So if you wake up, like, so I say somebody wakes you up and you're not in your REM sleep, you'll just wake up.
Aye,
you won't wake up feeling good, but I'm saying you'll wake up without any recollection of being asleep. But if someone wakes you up in your REM sleep, or your body wakes you up in your REM sleep, that's when you go, oh, I was dreaming there. That's what that is. Right. So that's how you were saying that Mr. Russell, is it Mr. Russell?
Dr. Russell.
Dr. Russell says it's in REM sleep because that is the only time you're dreaming. You're not dreaming any of the rest of the time. You're just in a seductive sleep.
Sedative. You're just highlighting some of the dreams you're having.
Sedative state.
So interesting.
That is how it goes, and then you need your REM sleep. I've known my REM sleep the last few nights. I tell you that.
So this is the earliest we've ever podcast. We're supposed to be in here at 8:30.
Don't get me wrong. I woke up and I done some research on this kind of stuff.
I put you to sleep.
I sleep, right? I was lying in my room. I was like, I can't be asked getting up to do. But I was like, I need to fucking have some good points for this podcast. And then I was like,
right. So a wee update on the sunlight clock that I got for my Christmas. Brilliant. Honestly, it is an easier. Maybe not necessarily easier. It's definitely a nicer way to wake up.
Yeah.
I've got an alarm that I set for like 45 minutes later because I want to try and get up a wee bit earlier because it's just kind of you're adjusting.
Yeah.
The light comes up and then right, and then honestly, like I'm awake. I'm very sharp.
Aye.
I'm still like needing my coffee. I don't need my coffee, but I like my wee retro in the morning, get my eggs and bacon and stuff like that. So it's not like a game changer. You still need to get to bed early.
Nothing's a game changer though. Unless you're doing something severely wrong already.
I know. So the nights where I get to bed on time, and also I'm doing 75 hard as well. So I'm reading like 10 pages before I go to bed, and that's kind of calming my mind down, and I'm fucking falling asleep while trying to read these pages.
Yeah.
So that's been really good. Last night wasn't the best sleep because I don't know. See the thing that you had was there's a noise for your gutter and it's hitting the bins. So like I don't know why my body woke me up at 12 last night and went, you need to shite. And I was like, what the fuck? Where does that came from? So waking up and I was like, what's going on here?
What did you eat yesterday?
Nothing. This is just the same. A cold pack of chicken rather than cooked, like a cold pack of cooked chicken. Because I was at the gym. I had your palau rice. What is it? Is that what it's called?
Palau, I don't know.
I had 2 packets of them yesterday.
I think everybody says different.
I had 2 packets of them yesterday. So
maybe the spice.
Then I had just 2 burgers.
So basically what you're saying is he didn't actually eat what he usually eats.
No, I did.
No, it's not out of the ordinary, but this.
No, I did.
I usually have
chicken and rice,
right.
Pretty much. I had burgers, so I always have like a beef type meal for my dinner, and I had my eggs and bacon in the morning. Had baby bells throughout the day. That's about it. Like that. That's literally. So it wasn't anything bizarre. So who knows? But anyway, my body told me that at 12, and then when I was trying to get back to bed, I just this thumping noise. And I'm like, oh. And I sat on the bed and Jillian just, she was like fucking the Undertaker waking up. She was like, what is that? I was like, can you not hear that noise? She's like, no. And I opened the window and I could hear like this dripping.
Oh, mate, it's the worst. See, as soon as you hear it, as soon as you hear it,
I was thinking of it, I was like, this is what fucking James is hitting. And then I went, Alexa, play white noise music, and it just blasted it to volume 10. So it's like in our room, so that poor Jelly, she's like, what the fuck's, but I love it because in the room it's like, oh.
It's better than like,
this is on it.
See, the good thing is like when you're listening to like raindrops, it's inconsistent. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
It's like even pitter patters, like
it's like
on the bins.
It's inconsistent and it's fast. Mm-hmm. Whereas when you put on white noise, it's like kind of slow but deep.
Yeah,
so
but you get rainwater to like listen to, but
it doesn't sound the same.
I don't know. It's interesting.
And it doesn't sound the same. See, when that does that with my gutter, I'm like, fuck right off. Do you know what I mean? I get rage. I'm like, I want to fucking smash that gutter.
That's how I felt last night. But so there's an interrupted sleep last night, and I got that went off at 5 this morning. Don't get me wrong, I didn't get to bed till at 6. The room was like lit up like the sun
Christmas
was up. Aye. And then, but I kind of adjusted and went up, got breakfast, and then we went up and trained. So I still managed to get up, and I feel quite sharp.
Yeah.
Working out, I was like, right, really trying.
It's a push through. I'm not going to be training today. I'm going to train tomorrow. But I'm training 4 times a week, so I've got
flexibility.
I've got the flexibility, and I'll train Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, wee break Saturday, and I'm going to train the same. It's still my week coming up to it. But at the end of the day, I know that after this, probably not going to drink as much because my goals. I've got one goal.
Yeah.
I wasn't really bored because I know that this week it's not a peak week. You know what I mean? It's only a foundational week again.
But like what we said before, sometimes the healthy thing is to. I know I'm poking a wee bit of fun in that, but the healthy thing is like
go do it. I didn't drink at Christmas or New Year.
I was going to say this is probably the first time that you and Caitlin have like went in a night out and had like drinks and stuff like that. So
we've had a couple of drinks before, but we've never actually went full scale.
She's like, that was a brilliant night. We'll same again next weekend. You're like,
no. But the thing was, like, obviously, see, I mind. So it's quite hard to get drinks in some places. And I had a drink. I was like, right, I'll go up and put my name in for the karaoke. Put it in. I was like, what have I done?
Tell everyone what's your signature song.
So my signature song, and I've always sang this in karaoke, and I'm pretty fucking good at it, to be honest. Like I've sang it that much that I'm alright at it. Like I'm not a fan.
You got the high notes.
I'm not. There's one bit that I can't do, and if anybody knows I raise your little respect, they'll know what bit I'm talking about.
I don't know what that song is. I'm not gonna lie.
What?
I'm not gonna lie.
What?
See when you say the earlier.
Hold on a minute.
What's it called?
No, hold
Erasure.
on. No. Hold on.
Erasure.
Right,
little
so
respect. Is it?
I've always said.
What's the chorus? It's like.
I've always said that. See,
Come on,
Dale,
sing me.
No, I'm going to play it. So I've always said that Dale is quite uncultured, and this proves it. See if this came on in Horseshoe, you'd be like, here we go, right? So, right.
You got a signal?
Do you know that?
No.
You're joking me. Wait there, this is the chorus. Oh, it's not the chorus. You are joking.
Nah, I'm kidding on. I've heard it.
Right, so
that's your song?
That is my song.
I thought no hardstyle remix or
no,
anything
no. That is my jam. Then I'm good at singing that, but obviously it's I'm not even doing it.
I'm gonna get you.
No. If I was a bit fresher, I'd probably do it better.
Aye, but you've got the fear.
Aye. So that is one of the things we're going to be talking about soon. But we'll go back into. We can come back into these because there's
a singer. Did she?
No. I was trying to get her up, but she's a shake bag.
You know, so like, see when I don't know why. Like, I can't sing to save myself, right? Openly,
I'm alright. Like I'm like
Jillian's mum get married to her stepdad, and her stepdad's a radio DJ. So at his wedding, he had like karaoke. For whatever reason, Britney Spears, Hit Me Baby One More Time, me, and then our brother-in-law went up, right? The worst part about this fucking story is, you have a night out, you have a couple of drinks, and then you're like, you kind of remember bits, but you're like, right, cool. Jillian videoed the whole fucking thing, right? And it's the first time I've caught myself singing back. So see when you sing, you're like, yeah, I think I fucking nailed that note.
No,
right?
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
It's like anything.
Aye.
And then it's like when you're doing an exercise, for example, you're like, I had good range of motion, and then you fucking look at the video back and you're like,
what happened there?
That was a quarter rep.
What happened there?
Exactly the same with this song that we sang. And it honestly haunts me anytime I get PTSD when Britney Spears Hit Me Baby One More Time comes on. Not even kidding, because Jillian, the next morning, I didn't know she recorded it. And the best part about this story was, like, me and Alan, my brother-in-law, we were fucked. Like, we were at the bar putting drinks on the room to Gillian's mum and their stepdad in the honeymoon suite. We were putting drinks. We'll get your drink and put it on the room. I'm not even kidding, mate. See the bill in the next morning. £1,200 of drinks that were on that room. I know. I was like, oh my god. Anyway, so we came down.
That was me.
No, most it was us. I'm not even kidding. Anyway, so the next morning we come down for breakfast, and they're firing at me. Like, we're recording, and they show me a video, and I'm just like, please
fuck
stop.
off.
I know,
fuck
please
off.
stop. So Alan comes down like 20 minutes later, and he sat down, and then they're still firing at me about singing Britney Spears, and he turns around to me and goes, were you singing Britney Spears last night? I was like, so were you, you dafty? He took his shirt off and everything.
Yes.
But honestly, I'm not even kidding. PTSD every time it comes on.
Do you?
Aye, so I'm not a singer.
Oh, no,
I like
no.
to think I'm a dancer.
I've got two songs. I've got two karaoke songs for my go-to, but the one of them I would only date like at a family party where I know many people. I would need it in a horseshoe bar, put it that way. Right?
No, in
It's
public.
Wake me up before you go.
Oh, what's up with that? I know that song. So
Aye, but mate, it's like obviously like you're just going for it, and it's quite a hard song to sing.
Is it?
Right, so you're not going to be singing it perfectly, right? So you need to understand. No one is singing "Wake Me Up Before You Go" like George Michael, right? And
You ain't George Michael.
I ain't George Michael. And then, but when I was younger, I won like singer of the night in like Benidorm when I was like a wee guy. Right?
Why is that no in your like bio on Instagram?
Aye. Singer of the year in Benidorm.
2007.
So my go-to songs back then were "Hound Dog" by Elvis Presley was one.
Right.
And I always try and remember this one song, and I've been like, obviously when things come back to you. This came back to me a couple of times about the karaoke thing, and I can't mind what song it is, right? But
How's it go?
It was. I can't mind how it went, right? But it was like.
You tell me after the podcast.
No. I need to try and. I can't remember it at all. But it was like. It's like talking about a woman, but it's like she's got this, but I can't remember what it is. Like, I know. I'm
as fuck.
You're way off, right?
Eminem and 50 Cent was as much as the singers.
But I used to go and I used to blast Hound Dog, man. And I used to do all the dancing and that, and everybody was loving us. Oh, I thought they were loving us. I don't know. You know what I mean? So see, sometimes you look at waves and you're like, get him off.
I know. He's cute.
Aye, get him off.
Give him a medal.
Aye, that's probably how like, singing the night. Fuck off.
Aye, so nah, I'm not a singer. But for some reason, I don't know why, but see the last couple of times I've like had a couple of drinks, I've been wanting to put on like High School Musical.
Aye.
I don't know why that's been a thing.
And that, so we went to Club Tropicana after the horseshoe, and that I knew that kind of played like kind of upbeat tunes. So like they had fucking "I Want It That Way" came on, mate. I was like,
this is my jam.
Is that your fucking?
They start doing your stretches.
There's a couple of other tunes come on like I can't remember. Now it's that fucking here we
I'm
go.
in my jam.
And then bits and pieces came on. I was just throwing them into a bit of dance floor. I was like, I forgot it was in a rave. You know what I mean? I was like chucking folk about. I was like,
I'm surprised you never get barred. For anyone that never saw, so I was in the gym, I was in the office, I was doing some work, and I could hear Backstreet Boys come on, and I'm like, who's in the gym? I was like, it's not like James to play Backstreet Boys. And it was I Want It That Way, and I walked in got this all on camera as well. I walked into the room and James is lying on the ground and he's warming up with hip bridges and driving thrusting his hips into the air, biting his bottom lip. But good times anyway. Back to the points then. So give us, we just spoke about there that how it affects your sleep.
Yeah.
Which is pretty, might not seem so obvious because like we said, you get like 10, you look at it, it's like, I've had 10 hours sleep. Why do I feel so fucked? Now you know why.
So we've explained how your brain's not getting, and your hormones aren't getting that regeneration that they would usually get. So another thing that happens when you have your circadian rhythms on, you go to bed at a standard time. Basically in the first 1 to 2 hours, if you don't fall asleep, you won't get growth hormone released. Mm-hmm. So your body gets a spike in growth hormone, which basically helps your bones, your muscles, and your organs grow to the point where that's the time when they repair. Your REM sleep is when your muscles can repair sometimes, but it's also mostly your brain and your hormones. But your growth hormone is your muscles and your bones. Mm-hmm. And if you don't get this, and you're not going to get this when you drink, because you've already been depressed for so long. Your body's been depressed for that amount of time. So when you actually go to sleep, you're past that point, way past that point. So you don't get that growth hormone released. and because it depresses the central nervous system, the next day you're never ever going to be stronger. Do you know what I mean? You've already used adrenaline when you've been drinking.
Yeah, I don't know who's hit PBs the day after drinking.
People have, but it's more a mindset than it. And then the day after that, that's when they're gone.
They're fried.
Totally fried. So,
but I think at one point before we move on for that is, if you're someone who does regularly drink, like at the weekends and do that sort of stuff, you're feeling the impact like 2 days, 3 days on. If you regularly do this, you will adapt to that, and you won't feel as you won't be aware of how fucked you are. You're just used to it. You are still the same level of fucked, if that makes sense. But it's worth highlighting if you're like, I don't really get that bad after. Because I'm that guy. I'm like, I don't really get a hangover, but I'm kind of lousy and I'm stuff like that. And I'm like, I can actually see why people who maybe feel like this go, I'm just going to do it again next weekend because I'm not actually that bad, but you don't realise how bad you are.
I think I'm pretty self-aware, and that's the difference.
Do
you know what I mean? I'm like, I know
you're homing in and all the different thoughts.
I know I'm not.
I bet you that's so. It's maybe in one hand it's a good podcast to do, but in the other hand it's probably like you're reading through that and now you're hyper aware of all these things. So you're like, fuck, man. Fuck. I can't do it. So you've kind of like written it off, if that makes sense.
I've written off. I can never do this again.
But you can because it was a good night. You've had fun.
100%. You've got to do it now. You've got to have a laugh.
You need to throw some
fuck me, man.
people about the dance floor.
Oh, the gay guy over way, man. He was fucking gone for it, man.
Was he?
Oh,
you try to match his level?
No, I couldn't. It's impossible.
Oh, was it?
Impossible, mate.
Somebody has more energy than you.
Impossible. It's impossible. I was like, you take it, mate. I'm happy for you to take it. You know what I mean? There's times where you just got to go. And they have more energy.
Enjoy yourself.
Go for it.
Enjoy yourself.
So, when it comes to building muscle, one of the main drivers to build muscle and having strength is testosterone. What's that?
It's a wee phone call.
I get that. Right, so one of the main drivers, it's obvious, is testosterone for men and for women. One of the things that increases when you drink is testosterone. So one of the things that needs to decrease when you don't drink is testosterone. What does this do? What does testosterone do? Well, testosterone, it makes you more confident in the things that you want to do. This is why when people drink, they fight, because they are that kind of person anyway. Right? If you get aggressive when you drink, that's because you're a more aggressive person than someone who doesn't get aggressive when they drink.
Same with steroids. Like they all say, you get the...
And that's because the testosterone increase when you're drinking. When you continually drink, obviously when you drink spirits, you get that testosterone spike much quicker. This is why obviously you get a wee bit horny when you drink it first as well. But then the depression part of the drink then brings that back down, and then that's why you go, I'm at my bed.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? So, but then obviously if something goes up, it must come down, so your testosterone must decrease. What does that do? Well, in your muscles you've got androgen receptors. Androgen receptors need to bind to testosterone to either build muscle or have strength. Do you know what I mean? So if you're pushing, you need that androgen receptor to
be connected to
testosterone. If you don't have as much, you're not as strong, and that is just what it is. You drink, you cannot be as strong. So, as we spoke about, if you're drinking in moderation, it's fine because you're not stressed about it, and you're probably having just one poor night, not poor night's sleep, but you're having one night's sleep, which is a wee bit less than the rest, and then you can catch up. That's fine. If you're smashing the drink every weekend, then you are hindering massive amounts of progress. And the amount of energy you're putting into the gym during the week is going to be, unless you're a genetic freak, which there is people out there. There's people out there who can go out and get smash a gym and still put on good size. But most people aren't, they people.
Yeah. Do
you know what I mean?
But these people as well, like, they have an untapped potential because they're never really, they're like, oh no, I'm doing alright. So, but you're like, you could be even more of a monster if you kind of scale back on that a little bit.
Crazy.
It's interesting.
It is.
Right, so what's you got any more?
Yeah, you got one more. So one more main one. So I don't know, we've not really spoke about too much about your gut microbiomes because it's quite hard to get. It's quite hard to speak. It's quite a hard subject to speak about because you don't want to speak about it and go, I'm wrong.
And well, no. So in terms of the microbiome, so it's basically the bacteria that sits within your gut. There is three things that I remember hearing this and it was like, that's actually so mental when you think about it this way. So there's three things that humans have studied that is so complex, and we deem them to be the most complex subjects ever. One of them being the universe, space, matter, all that sort of stuff. Second one being our brains and how the chemistry. And the third one that's up there is our gut microbiome, the bacteria that sits within that gut. gut and how that can affect the brain, which is crazy, like how certain foods can make you feel hornier, so certain foods can make you feel depressed, certain foods, like
crazy.
so much of that taps into your brain chemistry, and it's insane. We don't even know, like I reckon, see, in terms of like fitness blowing up in the health and fitness space and all that, the next big kind of paradigm shattering bit of research will be definitely from our gut microbiome. I think we're like about 5 years away from that. 5-10 years to come up like all this new kind of studies that's coming out, and we're going like, fuck it, that makes sense. Like, that makes so much sense why I've been feeling like shit, because I've been eating ultra processed foods, for example. So I'm excited for that research to come out. So when it comes to drink, then how does that affect?
Well, when you drink, what do you drink? You don't usually just drink one drink, or when you have a beer, it's got all this yeast and is it barley is made with?
I can't mind, but
it's got like thick ingredients that are going to sit in your gut.
That's why you feel so fucking bloated. It's gassy,
quite
and fizzy
it's
as well.
acidic as well. So if you're only drinking beer, then you've got that. If you're drinking vodka with juice, you're not just drinking one. You're having a few cocktails. You're having all this sugar. It's all combined into one. Like, it's not like when you have fruit and the sugar in the fruit is digested with all the other vitamins and minerals. It's not that. There's no other vitamins and minerals for your digestion to go, let's digest this. It's just
pure
get
alcohol.
get this in and get this out. Liver, chuck out the alcohol. Body, get the sugar. And then when you crash for the sugar as well, and your gut's like, what the fuck is going on? Like me and Sunday, I was like, I don't want breakfast. I'm never like that. And even now, I've not had breakfast yet. I'm still not that hungry, because I'm going to have to get the day. I'm going to have to force feed myself every meal of the day, and then get back and then get back
your
to
body,
it.
like get the signals and that.
And because usually I'm like, right, I'm hungry, I'm feeling good, bang. I'm hungry, I'm feeling good, bang. And then, but now it's like, I'm not hungry, I'm feeling all right, and I'm not sleeping that well. And that's because your gut microbiome is like, look, what the fuck's happening here? Like, I'm not going to let you sleep.
Who are you?
You've not ate.
You want to go to sleep?
So it's like, and obviously another one we've got there is anxiety.
So it's
hungover anxiety. You get a wee bit shaky. You get the jakey shakes. Obviously, that's the alcohol getting flushed out your system, but it's also your gut being anxious as well. Which is crazy to think.
And I think the kind of the fear, the depression, the anxiety, whatever you feel the day after drinking, you're right, it stems from your gut. It stems from because it's the signals and that chemical response that's shooting back up to your brain. I don't know why. Like I've had like, well, I've not even fucked it that much, but I've just drank and then I've kind of lay about the couch. But these are all behaviours that make things worse when you're laying about and you're like, oh, I need to go outside. No, just get outside. I know how good it's for me. Then I don't go outside. And like, look at you, you're a failure.
You just get the guilt
that goes into your mind, and you just talk yourself out it.
That's what I was in yesterday. The guilt. Do you know what I mean? I was like, fuck, I actually can't even get my bed.
I know, it's like it's not that you can't. You're so mentally blocked against getting out.
So mentally blocked. I was fucked yesterday. See, when I first got up, I was fucked.
I remember like one time that I was just laying about, and John's like, "Do you want to go out and walk?" And I was like, "No, like just." And then that caused tension. She's like, "But you know it's good for you." And I'm like, "Just like no," and I'm just not a nice person.
I'm not a nice person when I'm rough.
Jellen dragged me out at like 9 o'clock at night at once because we had to walk Cooper, and I'm out, and I'm like, I feel brilliant. Like, this is so good.
That's because you got to a certain point in the day where you can do that.
I've overcame it.
You've already overcame it anyway.
By just lying on the couch watching anime or fucking some Korean, Japanese show. Like that's my go-to.
And then you use all your dopamine on that.
I know.
So you wake up next day. And that's what I woke up the day with no dopamine, because I've done fuck all yesterday. I've used it on my phone. I've used it in television shows, and that is it. So the day it's about no going on my phone as much, no, and then just rebuild.
It's good that we're doing the podcast then.
It does.
Because you'll be like, right, actually, I've been speaking and kind of feel a wee bit
after this I'll be like
you'll be scunnered. We're not saying don't have alcohol.
No.
I'm sure there's some other points that we maybe missed. But hopefully I give you some more information, and that's all we're here to do. We're just trying to arm you with more information to make the decisions that best fit your lifestyle. So
it's to look at it and go, is this drink going to actually be worth it for my goals? That's what that information is there for. Like, this, it does this. I'm not going to be strong. I'm not going to sleep as well. That means I'm not going to get up tomorrow. Is that aligned with the goals that I have at the moment? Or is it something that I should do that's actually healthy for me?
So
that's just two things you need to look at.
So
that's all it is.
Playing devil's advocate there. It's like, okay, sometimes your goals, like we spoke about a previous episode about it, but sometimes as well, it's like reassessing, like, is this the first time you've been out with your partner in a wee while. Is this the first time you've been out with friends, family? Is it a family event? Is it the once in a lifetime wedding? Like all that sort of stuff. Like you need to factor all this in, and everything's done in moderation. So you are never going to be like, there is no black and white with this. So each person's different. I heard this the other day, like the fingerprint. I love that kind of outlook. Like everyone's got their own fingerprint, and that's the same for health and fitness. There's going to be generic things that you can mould yourself into, but everyone's going to be different. Everyone's going to have a different lifestyle, and you just need to find what works for you. So
I think one last thing that I would go on, and before we finish, that I just remembered that I forgot to write down, is the beer belly. Right?
Skinny legs, big belly.
Why do people get the beer belly? And it's simply because beer, especially, increases estrogen. Right? So
it fucks up your hormones.
It fucks up your hormones. So if anybody doesn't know, estrogen will hold fat quicker. And the main place that people will hold fat is their belly. Especially men first, because that's where your organs are. So if you increase your estrogen, you'll have boobies first and your belly first. That is why people get a beer belly and they don't get fat anywhere else, because their estrogen, their hormone levels go a weird way when they drink lots of beer, and then that's why people get a beer belly.
But that's the thing, it's lots of beer. It's not just like you drink beer and you wake up with like gyno and starting tits the next day. But it's the long term impact of repetitive behaviours like that. So, but yeah, you're right. Alcohol does. We spoke there. Like alcohol does just throw off your hormone profile. So the more you're exposed to that, the more your hormones are going to be thrown off. In women, so we said for guys the beer belly. In women, you probably see women who have skinny legs and a lot of fat around their waist. That is usually an indication of that individual's genetic makeup is fucked somehow. Like something's went wrong. Whether it's
drink can severely cause that.
Aye, so it generally could be we drink. So yeah. With that being said, hopefully you enjoyed today's episode. So
hopefully you aren't as rough as me today, because I know this will be coming out on next Monday, and I won't be rough then.
Well, this will be everybody's first weekend, the back to work, and probably a lot of people's like, oh, thank fuck this week's over, and they turn to the drink. A lot of people will be the same.
The
shoes
New Year's resolutions. Fuck that.
I get them to fuck. So as always, you can find us on Instagram. You can find me at Coach Crosser.
And you can find me at Roger Fit.
See you guys soon.
Have a nice one.